The problem of the refugee crisis is not the refugees, it's us. A German comedian yesterday, I think, no, a couple of days ago, in a German TV debate, pointed out, which was a nice situation, okay? There were about 120 people in the studio. And then he said, okay, so let the 120 people in this room represent the Germans, 80 million Germans, okay? Now, relative to these people, okay, 1/80th, okay, is going to be refugees, if we have 1 million refugees. So one person in the room had to stand up, actually two, and represent all the refugees. Okay, so two people were standing up in the room, and then the comedian said, now imagine these two people become fans of heavy metal. Does this mean that everybody in the room will now be threatened by heavy metal music? No, it means that these two people are listening to heavy metal. This doesn't change society. And so first of all, we got to get the numbers right and the facts right. So the idea of 1 million Muslims coming to Europe, okay, sounds terrible for someone with a mind frame from the 16th century. Okay, but for someone with a mind frame of the 21st century, this shouldn't be threatening for a very simple reason. These people have rights. These rights are laid down, okay, in various constitutions. And if you deny these people the rights that they have, you're thereby undermining European values. It's not that Angela Merkel is so super nice and moral and lets all the refugees in and helps the poor people because the Germans were evil in the past and now we should be nicer. That's a terrible explanation of what's going on. Angela Merkel is just complying with the constitution of the country whose chancellor she is. She's just doing her job because in the constitution we have an asylum right. Full stop. The very fact why we respect the law, the fact that I can be patriotic about the law in the way in which I am right now, okay, is based on enlightenment. So if the German constitution started with, you should kill Jews, or you should kill redheads, or you should kill witches, okay, then I wouldn't say, great constitution. What's good about, what I'm praising about Europe in general, the German constitution is just a standard example that Germans invoke right these days. But if you look at the so-called European values, okay, what they are basically just the value of reason. And you can have irrational and unreasonable laws. I'm not saying every law is as good as any other law as long as it's a law. I'm not a positivist here. But I think that our asylum laws, for instance, are already based on an actual insight, namely that no human being, okay, as a human being is different from another human being. Okay, that's why we all believe that in front of the law, all human beings are equal. It doesn't say all human beings are equal in general and in every respect, but in front of the law. So the law, the idea of the blindness of the law, the very idea of justice, is the idea that we will not project our beliefs about the other, which are often stupid, xenophobic, racist, whatever, okay? We will not project these beliefs onto the other in the context of the court. If we start, fumbling our constitution so as to be entitled to distinguish among people, like if you think that, oh yeah, it's good that, if Americans come to work in Germany, that's fine. But if Ethiopians come to Germany to come to work, that's not that good. So if we think that somehow Ethiopians are worse candidates for citizenship than Americans, then that is a very bad form of discrimination. So the question is, do we want to be Europeans or not? I think that's what we are discussing right now. And this is also what explains the fear of the other. The fear of the other is the fear of ourselves, namely the fear that we Europeans do not trust our European values. Our European values are universal, and that is the biggest achievement of modernity, universalism. And that universalism is threatened, so we think. But the threat to universalism, it comes from within. It doesn't come from the outside.